All right, so we're live. It says live now.
Oh,
Phoebe,
it does. Yay.
I'll let you do the honor of telling them what just happened.
So we just spent 27 minutes talking to each other, thinking we were live. So here we are, gonna say it all over again for all of you guys that are joining us now that we finally figured out we weren't actually live.
Oh, hey, you. And now we're listening to ourselves live because this is how professional. This is how good we are at this. This is how this is how I was just like, why do I hear my voice?
Because we were both looking at youtube.com.
Oh, this is
We had
fantastic.
to make sure it was working since it wasn't working for 27 minutes, right?
Heck, we had a good practice. Hey, it's Brickworld. We're at the Brickworld
Woo!
stream. It's Monday at 7:28 p.m. So we're only 28 minutes late, but we just really needed to do a dry run first. Hey everyone, someone's actually watching too. We're sitting there going like, we don't have any comments or questions. This all right. So yes, it is. It's the
Oh,
Brickworld
welcome.
live stream. Let's see. I can do things in the right order this time at least.
There
So
you go.
here we are planning for Brickworld. So welcome to episode number 3. Tonight we're going to talk about purchasing pre-order items on your My Page. Real easy concept. And then we're talking tonight with myself, of course, Mark Larson at Brickworld. I'm the Chief Brick Officer of Brickworld. There's my husband. And Phoebe Schwabe from KC Brick Lab, newest member of the Brickworld staff, unless you count David Turner, just kind of like hiring people left and or Alex Neer, just hiring people left and right.
Because we told you you need help.
Dear Lord, do I ever? I need someone to run my live stream studio to tell me, hey, you're not live. You are literally just talking to Phoebe. Let's get started with tonight's program. We are talking about how to purchase pre-order items. This will be a lot of fun. All right, so here we are on your Brickworld My Page. How do we get there? From Brickworld Home. Once you have an account and once you've purchased your badge, you will have access to all of this stuff on My Page. But if you haven't purchased a badge yet, you won't have access to all this. If you don't have a website account, you won't have access to any of this. So here you are in on your My Page. All the way down here at the bottom, there's a heading for pre-order items. Right now we have the Brickworld engraved name badge. This is a magnetic brick badge that you can wear. They don't come with every registration, but you can add one to your registration for $12. You also have the option for this while you're purchasing your regular badge for the convention, which is actually just a little ID card, a little plastic ID card, non-Lego. But you have the option to also purchase a engraved brick name badge. And let me give you a little bit of a close-up on what this looks like. It looks like this, and these are the 3 bricks that you can engrave. A lot of people put their name on the top brick, the city that they're from on the second brick, and the third brick they either put their handle or their lug, their online handle for social media, or their lug. Some people leave it blank. If you do leave it blank, if you leave any one of these blanks, we'll come find you. Phoebe will actually send
We'll
you
send an email eventually. I have a lot of people to email right now.
it's common for people to leave at least that third one blank, but we will email you to make sure that that was intentional. We want to make sure that you get what you're paying for with the engraving of all 3 bricks, and of course you can also purchase this year's exclusive event set, which is the Peacock Float. This year's theme is the Roaring Twenties, and I would show you the artwork for this year's theme, but I don't have it done yet because I'm just not made out of time, unfortunately. But this is this year's float. The reason the theme this year is the Roaring Twenties came up with the idea early in the pandemic as we were doing the virtual shows. I was imagining doing a show again someday, lamenting over not being able to do one, and thinking like once all the lockdowns were over and once the pandemic had passed, that the 20s was going to be much like the 1920s, be roaring in the ways that like people were going to have bursts of creativity. There was going to be new technology and lots of people out there wanting to live again and getting through the pandemic, a lot of people turned to Lego as a hobby for the first time, and a lot of people who have had Lego as a hobby for their entire life really had explosions of creativity and started building in different directions and brought amazing things to Brickworld in 2022 and posted amazing things online. And so we wanted to celebrate that energy. And so this year's theme is the Roaring 20s, and hopefully our 20s will be roaring. So you can add this peacock float set. As I said in our practice live stream, which was live but not streaming, I I love the idea of a peacock float. And when I thought of the Roaring Twenties, I'm like, yeah, you get to build a peacock because I think peacocks are very interesting. They're also beautiful and gives me the opportunity to order a lot of unique pieces in fun colors. Quick trivia: anybody who is watching wants to give us an answer in the comments. My favorite little piece of trivia: what is a male peacock called? So we'll see if somebody comes up with the answers the answer in the comments to the question, what is a male peacock called? And someone commented on Instagram that this reminded them of Sam and Jessica's peacock. And yes, when it got to the finale of Lego Masters Season 1, I was just like, yes, a peacock. This is amazing. I thought it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen created out of Lego. And so I'm sure this did influence it somehow. But it's not, the only reason I say somehow is it's not a direct homage to it, but I was definitely excited to see the peacock on the finale of Lego Masters. So that is Brickworld pre-order items. I'm going to show you a little bit more about the Brickworld themes. This was the theme in 2022, Building Bridges, which was decided actually in 2019. It did turn out to be a great theme for 2022 because we were bridging the gap of 3 years not being able to have the show and bridging that gap of everybody getting back together for the first time in a long time. Here's some of the other themes that we've had in previous years. 2019 was To the Moon and Back. 2018, we're going to have this out of order. This is 2016. Let's go. 2018 was Seasons. 2017 was Lights, Camera, Bricks. This is all artwork that I did. 2016 was Unite. That was the 10th anniversary of Brickworld. And then 2015 was Brick to the Future. 2014 was Candy. This artwork was by Greg Highland. He did all the artwork from 2007 to 2015 when I took over, because he was doing a lot of work for Lego at the time. So his plate was a little bit full. His base plate was a little bit full. Ha ha. So let's see. 2014 was Candy. 2013 was Heroes and Villains. 2012 was The End of the World, because it was 2012, according to the Mayan calendar. World, yeah. 2011, it was 5, because that was the 5th year of Brickworld. 2010, the theme was space, and I believe the previous years there were no themes. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember there being themes. I didn't check my deep notes either in the old Brickworld drive from the previous owners, Brian and Kathy, of course. So this was 2009's artwork, 2008's artwork, 2007's artwork. The theme isn't necessarily there to rule the show. It's we're setting the energy with it. We're setting the tone for the event with whatever our theme is. Don't feel compelled to build in it unless you really want to, of course. But if you're looking for ideas, you like something that kind of sparks an idea, sort of a seed for your creations, feel free to use the theme. Feel free to incorporate the theme into your current build, whatever makes you happy. There is a theme award. You can go for that if you like, but my advice to people is always not to go for awards. Yeah, awards are great. And yes, it's easy for me to say that because I have won awards at Brickworld in the past. But I just build to make you happy. It's your hobby time. It's if you start building for awards and don't end up getting those awards, you might build some resentment towards the fan community and just not have fun anymore. And you want to have this is all about having fun with your hobby. Anyway, I'll get off my unsolicited advice box about that. So yes, okay, excellent. And talking about enjoying your hobby. If you're new to Brickworld, you're coming to Brickworld for the first time, how do you get to know people? Now, that's something that is easier for me to do. I happen to be an extrovert, so I just go and I talk to people. There's all sorts of opportunities to talk to people, get to know people, meet new people. A lot of time is spent in the hall just doing your setup. And this happens occasionally. I've heard stories of this a couple times where people are trying to be helpful, trying to give constructive criticism to somebody who didn't ask for any. And so sometimes, think about who you're talking to, get to know those people before you try to critique their work. Our work is definitely something that we all have in common, but get to know the person before you go into like constructive criticism that might not seem constructive to them at the time if they weren't asking for it. But definitely a good time to meet people and talk about their stuff, and if you like what they're building, or if they build similarly to you, or if you have questions for them about what they built or where they got certain pieces that you might not have seen before. And be open to that sort of same conversation. If someone comes up to you and says, hey, this is really cool, where'd you get the idea? Have a conversation with that person, even if you're busy. And that's, I'm telling myself, because when I'm setting stuff up and a new person comes up and says, hey, this is really cool, I'm like, yeah, thank you. I'm literally trying to put it together. Like, I'd say I have to have a little bit more patience when something like that happens, especially now that I own the company. I want to have positive energy towards everyone I interact with. But also, we are setting up several different ways for people to get to know each other. We, of course, have all of our activities, our regular competitions, workshops, presentations, set drafts. Let's see if I'm missing any. And, of course, social activities. And we're trying to add social activities because almost half of our attendees last year were first-time attendees. And a lot of the feedback we got from people that even though they enjoyed their time, what they said they would enjoy more if they had the opportunity to meet more people and had more social activities that mixed all of these groups together. The show has been going for so long that there are a lot of people there that know each other really well and kind of stick together. So we're going to try to break people out of those molds this year. And we have a social coordinator. Simon Liu is our social coordinator, and he's trying to get leaders for activities. He's going to try to manage the schedule for them and make sure that there's a good diversity of types of events happening for social activities. But we're looking to do more icebreakers, more mixers. We've talked about this before. Our previous mixer had gotten to a place where we were in the lobby and kind of spread out from each other, and there wasn't a lot of mixing going on. So if we have a mixer, we're going to hopefully have activities during that. Hopefully be able to provide you with food as well, but also have activities where you're talking to people that you might not normally talk to, or getting to know people when your first time there, giving you opportunities to meet new people right off the bat from when we go to Brickworld. So all these presentations that I just mentioned, Brickworld is by AFOLs for AFOLs. So all the types of activities I just mentioned are submitted by badged attendees. So we don't put any of these together. They're all put together by people attending the show. So if you have an activity that you enjoy doing, or an icebreaker especially, because we're looking for new ones this year, we've really only used the mixer in the past as the biggest social event for the weekend, and we want more big events like that to mix people together. So if you have, if you know of an activity that gets people kind of loosened up and getting to know each other and open up, we'd really appreciate it if you would bring that to the show this year and be willing to run it. So we've gone over this on every live stream, but I'm just going to go over for it. You guys, once again, if you're joining us for the first time, anybody who has a badge can run any event that they like within reason. Of course, we've never turned anybody down.
But that doesn't mean we won't.
Exactly. It's always a possibility for us to do, but we haven't run into an event yet that we don't like. So right here on my page, again, it's under the account tab, and this is all the stuff that you need to manage your experience at the show. Down here under my convention stuff, there's a button for my leader roles. This is where you're going to go to sign up to be an activity leader. I've got 2 on here now, and the one that we just did during our practice live stream was the Fabuland Icebreaker. And I'm going to show you how to. If you've signed up for activities, if you're leading several, you can always go through your tabs here to look at what you've signed up for, to remind yourself what you're doing or what you've already entered. You can come in at any time and delete these. If you decide you don't want to do something, or edit your entry if you want to change any of the information. Just go through this with you very quickly. I don't mean to rush over this, but this is in every live stream that we've done so far. So you can see it on our YouTube channel in one of the 4 videos that's up now. So you come to this form, you put in your first name, you put in your last name, your email address should load as your email on your account on the website. Any co-leaders that you may have working with you, title of the activity. We're going to go with this time we're going to do a Duplo icebreaker.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's fun. And so this is, you have the type of session that we typically break these out into: our workshop, presentation, roundtable, set draft, game, and competition. For this, if you're doing a social event for us, you're going to type in social here. You can also type in any type of event that you come up with. Like we would love to see a new event category come up. So challenge us. Come in and see if there's anything else that you'd like to bring to the show that doesn't fit into one of these categories. Please let us know what category that would be. I'd be excited to see new categories. Session length, I'm going to say that this is going to go on for 50 minutes because if people aren't having a good time, we don't want to make them feel stuck there. I'm going to lead the session once. Description of activities: throw Duplo penguins into a game board with trapdoors. What am I talking about? I don't know, but that's what it is. Let's see, in teams of 3. That's a great, I think this is a great idea for a social event. I don't have time there, unfortunately. I don't need a projector or a screen or a computer or speakers. And I'm going to ask for floor space in the event hall. There are many options here: tables and chairs somewhere, a conference room with chairs for audience, a conference room with tables and chairs for class, a conference room with tables and chairs to move around. We have all sorts of space available there to us, so if there is something different that you want, you can always email us at contactus@brickworld.com and make a request. One thing that I can tell you that you don't need to do, if you want to run an activity, you don't need to email us at contactus@brickworld.com to ask us if we would like it. Fill out this form instead, because then we do all of that at once. Exactly. Thank you, Phoebe. So I'm going to say that 30 people can do this at a time because I've only got so many Duplo penguins on hand. And cost for participants, I want to make it free because I want everyone to be able to join. Additional information, come have some Duplo fun. Duplo fun and chuck some penguins. And then other information, this is going to come to us. We have certain materials available if you are running an activity. So I can say, do you have extra mixed brick I can use? And then when we go through the schedule, when we go through these form entries, we'll contact you to answer these questions. So leave us any questions on here, or I know that we have mixed brick because I've done events there before, well, because I own the business, but also I can just say in here, I'd like to use your mixed brick for this event. I'm going to submit that. And then at any time you can go back into this on your My page under My Leader Roles and delete or edit that. So is that's what we got through in our practice, Phoebe? Am I missing anything?
Yes.
What
No,
am I
I think you're good.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
anybody who wants to do an activity, you
that's
can
right.
over that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you think you have a good idea for a presentation, but you're not used to speaking in front of people and you'd like some practice, we would like to offer you the ability to get some practice in the link for this on YouTube. I'll add this to the comments in Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram once we have everything up, for you to do a 5-minute brick talk. If you have a topic that you'd like to discuss or present on, but you want a little bit of practice first, you can go to the link in the description of this video on YouTube or the comments on the other social platforms, and fill out this little form right here. And what we will do with that is we'll look through the proposals that we get, and then we will choose people on a live stream in the future, hopefully early May, and you'll have 5 minutes to practice your presentation and see how you like talking in front of people. Even if you're part of the Brickworld community and you'd like to, give a shot at live streaming, but you've never done that before, hop on our live stream. We'll give you 5 minutes. We just want to know what you'd like to talk about. We want to encourage people to be confident, and if we get a lot of requests, we won't be able to take everybody. Considering there's like 3 people watching this, if all 3 of you fill out a 5-minute brick talk, we'll get all 3 in. But if we don't select you, we are looking for diversity of ideas for presentations. So don't feel like it's not a good proposal or a good idea. It's just that we're looking for a diversity of it. And hopefully we'll do it more than once. And so I'd love to be able to get everybody in who submits 5-minute brick talks to us. This is something that Andrew Beckett does live at Brickworld. And so you'll also have an opportunity to do it live at the show. I heard last year's event was amazing. and a lot of fun and really inspiring for a lot of people. Gave some people practice on speaking in front of a room about a topic that they felt they'd like to. They feel like they're an expert on. They feel like they'd like to explore a longer presentation. So it's exciting, and I hope you guys are excited about it. I hope people submit that form to us, and we get some people on our live stream to practice talking in front of people. So
Yeah. And then you don't have to listen to just me and Mark. It could be other people.
exactly, and we do have other guests on here. We want to talk to our garage sale coordinator at some point. We want to talk to our cinema coordinators at some point. We want to have Maria and Philip on here at one point. To get them talking about new attendee orientation, some of the more exciting things that are happening at Brickworld. Philip is our new attendee coordinator, and Maria is one of our our awards coordinators. So yeah, we'll have more than just me and Phoebe on here. I mean, because obviously I need some help. It'd be better for me to just pay attention to all of these controls to make sure I'm not muted, because the practice live stream, it was just silent. the first like 30 seconds, because my mic was off, because it's hard to pay attention to stuff.
But at least it wasn't recorded.
And we weren't. So, just the basics. It'd be nice to be able to focus on the basics and let somebody else talk. And I'm sure people who watch this live stream every week would like to see people talk besides me as well. I mean, I didn't see any hearts or thumbs go up, but so maybe my voice is awesome. I don't know. I'm going to take a quick second here to thank some of our sponsors. We also do some expos, so if you're not sure about the difference between an expo and a convention, you're coming to Brickworld Chicago for the first time, don't even worry about it. We do some expos, that's all you need to know. This isn't a convention. Our Indianapolis show is coming up next week, and this is one of our big sponsors there. They've supported us since the beginning of this show. Indy with Kids, if you have family in Indianapolis, check out the Indianapolis area. Check out this website. This mom started her own business, Indy with Kids, where she vets a bunch of events and places to go and gives you a great list of things to do to fill up your weekends with entertaining things for the kids and the family. Also at Brickworld Indianapolis, we have Rhino's Bricks. He'll be there doing some giveaways and doing some live streaming from the show, talking to some builders and perhaps even some guests. He's a sponsor of our Indianapolis show as well. Thank him for being there this year. At Brickworld Milwaukee this year, we'll have Awkward Nerd events. They've given us a little sponsorship custom minifig that we're going to be putting in the goodie bags that'll be available at our merchandise booth, because we sell merchandise now, and that'll also be on your My Page eventually. It won't be just those two items we talked about earlier. K-Town Bricks does all of our minifig printing for Brickworld Chicago. There's an exclusive minifig event custom minifigure that you get every year. It comes in the goodie bag. Which is an option to add a goodie bag for $25 when you're getting your badge. Check out K-Town Bricks. They're also going to be at Brickworld Indianapolis. It's got a lot of really fun designs there, especially if you're a Castle fan. Bricker Builds, of course, if you're not aware of them already, they've got a lot of great stuff on YouTube and Instagram. They've got a lot of fun activities in their booth. They'll be at Brickworld Chicago with the main sponsor booth there this year. They sell custom sets, and they, like I said, just have a lot of fun things to do. In their booth. Here's their Instagram feed here. They are sponsoring World of Lights this year. If you're not aware what World of Lights is, on Saturday evening at, 10 p.m., I'm making up numbers now, we turn up all the lights in the hall. I think it's 10. Don't quote us on this.
It's whatever time we make it. We haven't set the schedule yet.
Exactly. It's TBD. TBD on the time, but it's Bricker Builds. It'll be World of Lights, brought to you by Bricker Builds this year. We turn off all the lights in the hall. Everybody's displays light up. Their booth is going to be kind of a safe haven at the front of the hall. If you are at the convention for the first time, perhaps traveling alone, and you don't feel comfortable going to a dark hall with a bunch of strangers, Bricker Builds will have some social activities going on there, so you have kind of a safe haven to go to. If you're looking for one. But yeah, the hall is really amazing during this time. People have some really creative ways to light up their displays, and it's just a fun social time for everyone as well. If you don't know the places to find us, you can find us on Facebook, of course, YouTube. Hopefully you might be watching us there now. I'd open it, but then I'd be hearing myself twice. We don't want that to happen again. On Facebook, we are Brickworld Events without an E in the second without a second E in the word events, because we had a limit to the number of characters when we signed up for our Facebook page. Over here we have our Instagram feed. It's at Brickworld. And we just joined TikTok yesterday. We've got some fun videos up there now. This one almost has 1,000 views. So join us on TikTok. We hope to put a lot of content up there in the coming weeks. So there's all sorts of ways to follow us and support Brickworld and be part of the community. So let me check my agenda here. Oh, yeah, I guess there's one more thing that we talked about at the end of the practice. If you are interested, or if you know any local businesses to any of our shows who would be interested in sponsoring us, becoming part of Club Brickworld, you can go to the company tab here on the website, down to advertising, down to sponsorship, and we have all of our sponsorship packages here for each individual city. These are the spring and summer shows. We'll have the fall shows up there very soon. But for Milwaukee, Indianapolis, and Chicago, if you know businesses in those areas that would like to support the show, we would certainly appreciate that. And hopefully everybody who attends our shows would also appreciate it, as we are able to enhance our show through sponsorships. And there we have it. That's my entire bit of content for tonight. I think this time was a little bit smoother. I think if there was a couple things I forgot and tried to throw in other places, a lot smoother than the practice, Phoebe. I don't know if anybody sat around for 27 minutes waiting for us to actually go live while we sat here thinking we were live. But
it's possible. You never know.
Well, at least it looks like at least 4 people did, which is great. Thank you to the 4 people who stuck around with us. Do we have any questions or even comments? We've got
one. It was just asking, what does the first attendee need to look for in their first Brickworld convention? Which I think we, covered a lot of things for that.
Yeah.
Especially with the new social icebreakers that we're going to try to do. That'll be, the best thing for a new person to come to, just to meet other people and break the ice.
Absolutely. I would go back to the first 3 live streams we did because we went over the basics of like purchasing a badge and then requesting display space and your mock cards. And we did activity leader sign up during that one as well. But getting the hotel room. And I think like I talked about in the second one how the first time I came to Brickworld, because I had been to Comic-Cons and other sorts of like expos and conventions where you normally pay a pretty high price to just go and check out everything that's there and then leave. Like you're there for 2 to 4 hours, which is what we charge the public $16 for. Other places might charge $50 or higher. So for what I paid, I'm just like, okay, I've got 2 hours on Saturday. I'm going to go check it out. So I didn't go pick up my badge until like 5 o'clock on Saturday night and like for a couple hours. And then I had to go do something else. Didn't have any idea that was enough for me to be able to, display my creations or stay for the whole week and be part of all the other events that were going on. They used to do the keynote speech on Friday night and then have another presentation on Saturday night. So there were several ceremonies throughout the weekend. There was one each night instead of like what we do now, which is the opening ceremonies and keynote speech on Thursday and then the closing ceremonies with awards on Sunday. There used to be one every night. So when I was there on Saturday, it was during in one of the other rooms. They were doing a presentation. They were doing a ceremony, and I was like, I wonder how much those people paid. They paid the same thing I paid. So that's the basic thing. First, you get a badge, you stay for the entire week. You can come in on Wednesday. Leave on, I would suggest Monday morning because Sunday night people hang out and everyone's just got their cars packed. They're ready to go the next day. Everyone's like kind of like lets loose, hangs out in the lobby or out in the back patio where there's a restaurant. The restaurant patio is, the restaurant itself is closed, but the patio is still open. And if the weather's nice, people like to go out there. But even just hanging out in the lobby, it's a lot of fun. It's my most relaxing night of the week because the show's finally over. So maybe it's the most fun for me because I'm no longer working finally. But yeah, I think like the first thing to think of is like, what am I going to bring? And I would say we see a lot of times like especially when larger groups come in for the first time and say they have a layout where they want to show off something like a train. This happens a lot with train clubs. And so as a backdrop to their train, they drop in a lot of official models. And so I would stray away from bringing anything official. We're looking for a lot of original creations at Brickworld, and like that's kind of sometimes when people have negative experiences in interacting with some of the other guests. A lot of times, a lot of the other attendees, is when people are just like, "Why'd you bring official sets?" And if you see an official set, like let's
Say anything.
let's try to gently bring people into the community, especially when it's something like they have like if the train is going to take up this much space anyway, and they've got cafe corner and green grocer back there, just let them have a nice backdrop, and then get to know that person and encourage them to replace it with something original over time. And the other thing is like don't overextend yourself. My big thing was like I would submit all these display space requests and submit all these mock cards, and then I'd feel bad even just about the paper for like submitting the mock card. And so I'd be like, all right, I got like 3/4 of this done, sometimes like 1/4 of this done. So I would just show up with a lot of loose brick and try to like build on site. And it just, I can't think of how many years where it just like almost like imploded the entire week because I'm sitting in my hotel room or at my table trying to like finish things, and people come up and talk to you and you're like, I'm trying to work on something. It's like, yeah, but you're here for like a social event, like to meet people and have fun and like, you know, check out other creations, and you're sitting at your table the whole time building. Like, get everything built before you come. And if you're not done with everything when you get on the plane or when you jump in your car from 20 minutes away from the venue, just let us know that your display space is going to be open and you don't need your mock arts. That's fine. We're 100,000 square feet display space in this venue, and we're bursting at the seams.
Mm-hmm.
So if it might actually be helping us out if you're like, hey, I only got half my display done. Great. Don't try to get it done on site. Have fun on site. Building's done. You know, a lot of groups do build together on site, like we had to for Eurobricks last year because we matched up everyone's module matched up different terrain, and like one side was a desert and the other side were these cliffs with an oasis on it. And nobody's module matched up when we got there. So we had to do some building on site, but it was fun because like we're working together to like fix it. And so that's some building on site is fun, but don't leave it to where it's such a task where you're not able to do anything else, especially eat. Like get out and shower, you know, get out, eating meals, drink water, drink definitely. And I'm not even joking, like drink water. Even if it's something where it's just like, oh yeah, I always drink water. You will forget. You will forget when you have all this stuff going on. It's really important to stay hydrated. It's going to be really humid in Chicago at this time of year, and it's a long walk from the venue back to the hotel rooms. Like honestly, the venue is like the event center is here, right? Let me see where my hands are. There we go. Is here, and like at the very other end of the property is the elevators to get to the hotel room. So like your hotel room might be up here on like the 12th floor, but you have to walk all the way here anyway to get to the elevators. So you have to walk the entire length of the campus. So yeah, it's a lot of activity. Just make sure you're getting rest. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're sane when you get there so you don't go insane trying to build everything else. What color is the engraved and 1x8 event brick this year? It is dark gray. So we have dark gray since the theme is Roaring 20s. It's dark gray with gold lettering, and it looks really cool. And then if you're part of the expos, we're using the dark gray, and then we have like the spring yellowish green as the lettering. I think it looks really cool. Like dark gray was kind of like on the list of the things that like we had when we had to place our support order. Is like one of the bricks that we had available in 2 colors and hadn't been used recently as brick badge because with 15 years we're running out of colors that come in a 1x6 and a 1x8. Right. Next year they made one of my favorite colors finally in 1x6, and so we're gonna have one of my favorite colors as next year's brick, but we're not ready to tell you what yet.
No, not yet.
No. We'll tell you at closing ceremonies at Brickworld Chicago, so you have to be there. All right, 2 questions even. So we know people were watching. We know we were live. Wow, yes. We're getting good at this.
That means number 4 will be even better.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. It'll be 4, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, technically 5 because the first one was split into 2 because my internet died, and then we had to record it and put it up and tack it on. You know, but everything's a learning curve. We're always striving to be better. So cool.
It's a learning experience.
Oh God, isn't life in general? Like, let's get philosophical. That's what the people came for. See Mark and Phoebe like ruminate over just philosophical concepps. All right, well that's 8 o'clock. So we've been at this for an hour. Even if you've only seen us been doing it for 32 minutes, but that's enough live streaming for me for today. Even if only half of it actually streamed. So we will see you next week on Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Thank you for joining us this week. And we'll try to drop an advertisement before Thursday.
before.
Yeah.
Almost going to start on time, actually live.
Yeah. And can we guarantee any of that? No.
No.
We'll see you sometime. Good night, everybody. And thank you, Phoebe.
Good night.
Bye.